What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Morning Brew podcast. I'm your host, Kayla, and today we are taking a deep dive into one of the coolest variety shows I have ever been to here in Austin. It's wet, it's wild, it's been going on for 10 years now, and today I am sitting down with one of the creators. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce you to my amazing guest, Zoja. Known as Austin's guerilla-style erotic variety show, Boner Bazaar has been hosting events since 2015. Today, I'm talking to one of the incredible owners of Boner Bazaar, Zoja. First and foremost, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining. Can you tell me a little bit more about yourself?
Sure. So my name is Zoja. I was born in Canada, but I moved to Austin when I was around 3 years old. So I've been here ever since. So consider myself somewhat of a local. Kind of grew up in the local punk scene, was pretty immersed in both music and performing arts. Yeah, Boner Bazaar was kind of a house party in the beginning. We started as just like house parties with bands and pole dancers, and it was just kind of ruckus, and we would end up trashing our house and like pretty quickly realized that we needed to probably move to a venue. So we moved down the street to what was then known as Midway Fieldhouse, after that Grizzly Hall, and now is known as Come and Take It, and that's been our home ever since. I don't think we ever expected this endeavor to go anywhere. It was just for funsies in the beginning, and then we realized like, oh, we have a following, we should probably start taking this more seriously. So it's kind of evolved over the last 10 years from a shitty house party to a full-scale production.
No, that's really cool though. How did you come up with the concept of Boner Bazaar? Like, take me through the thought process there.
I had gone to an underground sideshow event, like circus sideshow,
Okay,
where there
cool.
was people like, breathing fire and sticking needles in their faces, and it was super like shocking and outlandish. And I was a pole dancer and pretty connected to that scene too. And I was like, what if we threw a show where we kind of merged the underground circus scene with pole and aerials and gave it this nice little punk DIY aesthetic. So it was kind of like a merging of influences.
That's super awesome. And how did you like initially find performers when you were first starting?
A lot of it was just friends in the scene, and some professionals, some first timers. Like we try to keep it pretty well rounded in that way. I teach pole dance myself, so I'm always keeping an eye on up and coming students and, hand selecting them when I think that they're ready to perform, because we want to make sure that we're showcasing a variety of skill sets. You don't have to be like a seasoned professional to be on our stage. I think everyone has the right to be on stage if they want to be. And it just, encourages our audience to apply if they want to perform too, because anyone can do it.
I was really impressed with the variety of different performers that you had at the last one. That person that had their head in a balloon, I think it was.
Oh yeah.
I've never seen that before in my life, but that was really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, we're
That's
open to
so
all kinds
cool.
of acts.
Yeah, I was like, where did you find all these amazing people? Like, I didn't know that they had this kind of stuff in Austin, but it's really awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Austin has changed a lot, but if you look close enough, the weirdos are still here.
Good. I'm like, I found the people that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So, what goes into, I guess, planning and executing one of these events? I know you do a couple every year and they have different themes, but how do you go through all of that?
Um, yeah, we do about 2 to 3 shows a year, kind of based on our energy levels, how we're feeling.
I get that.
Um, I have a master's degree in film, and then my co-producer, who goes by Snake Tits, she's also the host. I'm sure you've seen her up there.
Uh-huh.
She's like a total culture vulture too. So oftentimes we'll draw from just like pop culture, like shows or movies that we're into recently. Generally for Valentine's Day, we always showcase a certain auteur's work. So we've done like Cronenberg and Kubrick and Lynch, and most recently Dario Argento. The summer show is usually kind of a wild card. Like we've done Boner Stock 99, Squirt Fest. It's usually just kind of like a wild theme. And then for Halloween, tends to lean towards horror, but it's usually also like lined up with the election or legislative session. So usually tends to lean more political.
Yeah, no, I wrote down hats off to Inside Handjob because that was so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With everything going on in the world, we have like endless content because
I believe that.
it's always a dark place.
Yeah, no, I never thought, I'd watch someone do a striptease about the opioid crisis, but, here we are. It's
Weird
really
things.
entertaining.
Yeah.
So I have to give you congrats because I believe this year is the 10th year of Boner Bazaar, which is a crazy long time and also, like a milestone event. And you kind of touched on it a little bit, but looking back, how has the event evolved from the first year to now? Did you ever think that you would get to this point?
No, and it was never really our intention to grow it to this scale. It just kind of happened naturally. It was a fucking shit. Can I swear on here?
Yeah, absolutely.
It was a shit show in the beginning. I mean, we were just like young and dumb and drunk, and we're just excited to make like $50 the first show. I think the bar gave us like a flat rate of $600, and we like split that up amongst like 20 people, and we were all so stoked. And then, you know, after that, we kind of reined it in and realized we could actually, treat this like a real business and make sure everybody gets paid fairly. And but there were a lot of kinks along the way. Like in the beginning, we would, try our hand at crafting and, building the sets, and it was always super stressful. And like over time, we've realized how important it is to hire out and delegate to people that we trust, so that we're not taking on the burden of every single
Sure.
department. But yeah, it was pretty stressful the last few years, but we finally got it down to a science, and it just kind of runs itself at this point, which is such a relief. We brought in a fantastic stage manager who can be like bad cop for us, because I'm kind of a pushover when it comes to things.
Me
So
too.
he's like nice and mean, and in the way that we need her to be. And yeah, I mean, I think at some point Snake and I could probably like sit back and not have to actually do production anymore, which is always the goal with any business, I think.
Yeah, that's super awesome. And there's like a certain amount of, like safety that goes into it as well, right? Because I see the people that are like coming on to help rig either the silks or like chains or whatever it may be.
Hmm.
So is that the stage manager also, or is there like a special professional team of folk?
Yeah, we have an aerial rigger.
Nice. Okay.
He's phenomenal, and we couldn't have done this without him. He actually outfitted the venue like custom to our needs. So
That's so awesome.
you can't really find spaces like that in Austin anymore too, because the city is tailored towards live music, not so much
Right.
visual arts. So even the venue we have now, it's tough to see sometimes. They've got it, up on the TVs if you can't see, but it's a metal venue at the end of the day. So just being able to hear is all that matters. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's really been tough these last few years for the burlesque scene here, because, the North Door closed, and that was really devastating. And that was one of the only like larger venues that would give us good rates for burlesque shows. So we've been outpriced at a lot of places.
Yeah. So having a name like Boner Bazaar definitely is, like a head turner. And I know it's tailored towards us fun weirdos, but, do you get a lot of like common misconceptions about your event when people hear about it?
Yeah, I kind of wonder if people think it's run by men. Because me and Snake are both like non-binary, but more femme presenting, and think dicks and boobs are funny, and we're never gonna grow up.
They
But
are.
like, I assume people think it's run by men because it's all about dicks.
Yeah, it gives like all the friends that I was like, come with me to this cool event. It's called Boner Bazaar, and they're like, what? And I was like, no, I swear, it's really cool. But yeah, it was I think they had the impression it was like sausage party kind of like
Yeah.
dick-esque thing. I'm like, no, 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 trust me.
I mean, it is, but not the way you think.
Not in the way that you think it is. It's in the fun way, you know. So what is your personal favorite part about Boner Bazaar events?
I think for me, it's like fostering community. Like, I really have always gotten a lot of gratification out of like being a mentor and a teacher, but also like gently nudging people towards coming into their full power. And I think being on a stage is one of the most powerful things you can do. And a lot of times I have students like asking me how they get started in the scene, or how do I know that I'm ready? And I always tell them, like, no one's ever gonna tell you that you're ready. You just have to get out there and do it and kind of fake it till you make it. That's what I did. I think I was a stagehand like one time before I was like, okay, I think I'm good. I'm just gonna start performing now.
I
So
think we're all just faking it a little bit at the end of
exactly.
the day.
Yeah. Nobody knows what they're doing. It's practice.
Honestly, exactly. And you were performing in the event. What was your act the other night?
It was a tribute to the remake of Suspiria, and I partnered up with my friend Becca, who's been with Boner Bazaar since the house party days, to do a
Nice.
duo Tippy Lyra act. So it was mostly just like, standard aerials, but in the middle there was a scene where I did this broken bone dance from the movie, um, which was cool because I got to meet with a stunt coordinator to figure out how to make it look like I was being broken into pieces and thrown around stage. Unfortunately, I ended up like rolling my ankle
Oh
during the
no.
performance. I mean, if that's the worst that can happen, like, I'm okay with
Oh no.
it.
And how long have you been performing and like teaching pole?
Let's see. I've been performing since 2012, teaching since 2017. Yeah, so like close to 10 years.
Okay, nice. How'd you get into that? Because I want abs, and I'm like, I think that looks fun, but I'm always like too scared to try anything like that.
Yeah, that's a pretty common thing that we hear. I think like people think they have to be good at something to even show up, and it's like
That's
no,
so
we're
valid.
all bad at things first. Like, I was terrible in the beginning too. You have to keep trying. And if you show up to a beginner pole class, at least at the studio I work at, Black Box, our team is just super super loving and supportive and professional, and like no matter what level you're at, we're going to be able to adjust to your needs. And you know the other students are going to like introduce themselves to you unprompted and like try to make you feel comfortable and part of the community immediately. So I can't speak for other studios in town, but that's definitely the experience that you would have at Black Box. And yeah, I mean, it's one of the most fun, creatively stimulating workouts you can get because there's really no rules. I mean, hopefully we're doing things safely, but other than that, like, there's no right or wrong with how to move your body. And there's so many different types of pole dance now too. It's a pretty established sport. There's, international competition. So even if you're like a more mass presenting person, like there is pole sport. There's also like, the more like stripper style. It's completely up to you. So
Yeah, every time I see it, I'm like, I'm ever so impressed because I lack such like upper body strength and
we all
also
do in the
core.
beginning. Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm like, look, I got legs, so I can at least have that.
Yeah, totally. Do some booty work.
One day
Yeah,
I'll come by because I do want to for sure. It looks
you
really
totally
fun.
should. Very addicting once you start
I
too.
believe that. I have so many friends that have a pole in their house, and I'm like, can I try it?
Yeah.
What is the most like difficult part of your craft? Like, what is something that other people would maybe not realize is hard about it?
Pole dancing specifically?
Yeah, sure, like any other thing that you do.
Um, I would say holding space for people in the studio is probably the most tough part. Like, we're not licensed therapists, and that's not really the intention of why we're holding space, but sometimes it feels that way. Like, you definitely have to carry the energy of the room and carry people's feelings about their bodies and their insecurities. So you end up taking that home with you for sure. So it can be like a big emotional toll being an instructor, I would say.
No, that's interesting because I actually didn't think about that before about like taking it home because I'm like, yeah, I definitely would, be a little insecure at first for sure of like, oh my gosh, there's people like looking at me and I
Hmm.
forget that like other people are also in the exact same position.
Exactly.
That's really interesting. And what do you love about performing?
Gosh, this is a complicated question because I wouldn't say that I love performing
Okay,
anymore.
okay, wait, no, tell me more about that.
I think like once upon a time I did, but I think it definitely like loses its sparkliness after a while. It can be exhausting entertaining people too, and
I get that. Okay.
I think the evolution of any career is going to be like you start as a student and then you
Hmm.
master something and then you're expected to teach it and mentor it.
Gotcha.
I'm kind of more in the mentor phase now. I just want to empower other people on their own journeys because I think I've done it all as far as performing goes. There's not really any more like milestones for me for performing. Um, and that's part of the reason why I love still performing in Boner Bazaar is because anything goes. Like, it doesn't have to be like pretty or sexy or even entertaining. Like, it can be wildly like disturbing and confusing, actually. So it's like the one time I get to do truly anything I want on stage. And that's really cathartic. But yeah, after a while, like you start to get honestly like sick of people applauding you. Like, yeah, 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 you've seen it all. Like, shut up.
So I've got a fun question to end on. This is like a large debate amongst my listeners. But do you know the M&M characters with the faces?
Hmm.
Which one of them do you think is the sexiest?
Oh. Well, the only one that comes to mind is the one with the lashes and the heels. But maybe that's
Is that the green one or the brown one? The
I,
brown one has glasses,
I
but the
think.
green one has legs.
Oh, now I'm like, this is like the mandala effect. Like, are these M&Ms even real? I can't even remember. I just know there's one that's like really femme and sexy, and that's my favorite one.
Good. Okay. Yeah, the heated debate is usually green versus brown. And so I
Oh,
get a variety of different answers and it always changes and I find that so interesting.
huh. What's up with the brown one? They have glasses? Let me see.
Yeah, so the brown one is like has glasses and is like sexy librarian, looks like he could step on
Oh.
you. And then the green one is like classic sexy.
Oh my God, this is blowing my mind. I just found a picture of them like sitting next to a beach together too.
That's awesome.
That's hot. Yeah, no, the brown one's definitely like a femme top that's disappointed in you.
Absolutely.
Hilarious. This is inspiring me for the next show.
Candyman theme.
Yeah.
Okay, and then lastly, do you have any socials you want to plug or upcoming events that you want to talk about?
You can follow us on Instagram or Facebook at Boner Bazaar. Our next show is going to be July 12th at Come and Take It Live. It is anime themed. It's going to be called
Ooh.
Boner Ball Z.
That's awesome.
And then as far as upcoming shows that are not Boner Bazaar, I am in a Muppet themed show.
Okay.
weirdly, at Kick Butt Coffee. It's March 1st. I'm doing a Miss Piggy act, so that'll
Oh
be.
my God. That sounds iconic. Oh my gosh.
I haven't told the producers. I was just gonna ambush them with
That
it.
is wild. You should encourage someone to do one about commitment issues.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love it.
Well, as an Asian, I feel I need to go to this anime, Boner Ball Z, so I will definitely be there, and I'll come extra early this time so I can park.
Yeah.
Um,
I was thinking
yeah.
about doing an Akira act, but I need to source a motorcycle.
Maybe get like one of those like kid ones from Target or something to spray paint it.
That's brilliant.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much, Zoya. This was so interesting and entertaining.
Yeah, pleasure to meet you. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll see you at the next one, and have a great day.
You too.
That's all for today's episode, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Be sure to go follow Zoya, and if you happen to be in Austin, come check out a Boner Bazaar event. It sounds a little bit scary at first, but I promise it is really fun and you do not want to miss it. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to share it with a friend or leave a review. And be sure to tune in next time because I have another fun interview with a really cool guest.